Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing amazing on this Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are connecting. When are you connecting and where are you connecting from? My name is Angela. I'm a brain optimization executive brain coach, and I help entrepreneurs, business owners who want more from life and business, who want to elevate their skills and mindset to optimize their brain to achieve all life, business, and success goals faster. And today I want to talk to you about sleep, because sleep is the foundation of your daily productivity, of your daily energy, of your daily motivation, your drive to achieve. Sleep, for example, do you know that during sleep, your brain restores its dopamine pool? And the way our dopamine receptors in the brain work also optimized for the day. Now, when you don't get enough sleep, your dopamine system doesn't work that well. And what it means is actually you wake up and you don't feel that enthusiastic about the day. You don't feel that driven to get things done and get things moving. You don't feel that motivated, that you don't feel that drive, that energy, that just, you don't feel that energy or pushing you to get out there and get things done and achieve. You don't have this zest that attracts people and opportunities, right? So this is what happens when you don't get enough sleep consistently. Can you still function with 6 hours of sleep? Yes, you can. Is it going to be the same as getting optimal amount of sleep? No, it's not going to be the same. And there is no question about it. In research and science, there is only 1% of 1% of 1% of people who can function without the loss of any noticeable cognitive or other bodily functions difference when they get 6 or even less hours of sleep. It's like 1% of 1% of 1%. And no, you probably are not that person who can just function optimally, producing your best results on just 6 hours of sleep consistently, or even less. Again, can you function? Can you survive? Yes, you can. But you're definitely not going to be delivering your genius, your most breakthrough, insightful ideas with lack of sleep that is consistent. There is no doubt about it, right? And so now the question is, what can you do to make your sleep better, to improve the quality? Now, the amount, first, of course, the amount. If you don't give yourself the opportunity to stay in bed for 8 night hours, they say you need 8.5 hours of sleep to optimally recover. And if you go to bed and there are only 6 hours for you to sleep, of course, you're not going to be getting great sleep no matter what. So first, you got to give yourself the chance to stay in bed for 8.5, 9 hours to get that quality of sleep that you actually need to perform optimally, to be the best self you can possibly be. So first is timing. Second is things like regularity. Sleeping in the environment that is dark, cool, and quiet. That will help you to optimize the quality of that sleep already. Like, regularity is a huge one. And a lot of people don't understand that when you switch your sleeping time back and forth a couple of hours, you're kind of like giving yourself jet lag. They call it social jet lag, but it's not so much social if you give it yourself every single night. And one night you sleep at 10 p.m., the other night at 12 a.m., then the other night at some other time. And it's like your brain is always switching that time and not sure when to start releasing certain hormones or neurotransmitters, like, for example, melatonin, to make you fall asleep and to make your sleep effective. Please understand this. When you switch your sleeping time all the time, let's get back to the idea of jet lag. When you switch time zones due to travel, how will you usually sleep the first night? Unless you're totally exhausted and you just drop dead into your bed, you probably don't get that good quality of sleep. You either can't fall asleep, or you wake up too early or in the middle of the night, right? So the same kind of thing to a lesser extent happens when you switch your time all the time. So the first thing that a lot of you missing is that regularity, just going to bed on the same plus minus 30 minutes time. And Then the second thing that you might not be doing that is essential for great quality of sleep, if not every single night, that almost every single night, is your light exposure in the morning. Getting that sunshine into your eyes that have special receptors that transmit certain signals when are exposed to different kinds of light to your brain. So you don't expose your eyes, those receptors, to morning light that happens around sunrise. What happens is your brain doesn't get this essential signal to start producing optimally things like serotonin. And serotonin isn't just in charge of your confidence, of your libido, of your appetite or cravings, of your digestion, of so many things. It is also at night made into melatonin that makes you want to fall asleep, that makes your sleep more effective, more efficient. So when you don't get that light exposure, what happens is you don't get that melatonin optimally. And you might be going to bed and not really feeling like falling asleep, with thoughts all over the place, with still being awake and wired, tired, but also wired, not able to actually sleep. And then you end up, spending the next hour maybe starting to browse through social media, making the situation even worse. And then you might even spend in bed 8 hours, but the quality of that sleep sucks. And so in the morning you wake up and you don't feel that great at all. And so those two things, your regularity, going to bed on the same time, and exposing your eyes in the morning, first 2-3 hours of sunrise and as close to your waking time as possible. If you don't do those two practices, you will suffer from ineffective sleep, from compromised sleep quality. And so then don't ask yourself, why my sleep sucks. Instead, you got to ask yourself, why am I not doing what is required to get sleep quality optimal? Now, there are, of course, other things like alcohol at night or caffeine at too late during the day, or having too much bright light exposure before bed, a couple of hours before going to bed. So those factors are also crucial, important, very potent when it comes to conditioning the quality of your sleep. But first two practices, regular sleeping time. Yeah, just like you tell your kids to go to bed on the same time, you got to tell yourself to go to bed on the same time, because that matters when it comes to quality of your sleep. And also getting that morning light exposure also matters. And it matters not just for the quality of your sleep, but it also matters for things like your wakefulness, being alert and focused and clear in the morning, and not having that big of a afternoon slump, and not being that, yawning and sleepy and tired. These practices contribute to that too. And that might be the reason why you need so much caffeine to get yourself going. That then contributes to poor quality of sleep and your stress system being all pumped up and your recovery not happening optimally, contributing to fatigue and just feeling tired all the time and exhausted all the time. So those practices matter, right? So that's where I would start with any of my clients. I would ask them, okay, how's your sleep time? Is it consistent? Is it not? And if it's not, let's figure out how to make it more consistent. Let's figure out the time when you are most likely to go to bed on the same time. And then the second one is, let's figure out how we can get that light exposure. What can we do? What kind of, I don't know, if you're busy, maybe we can do it while running some errands, while doing some calls, doing just audio light. How can we figure it out? Because your sleep quality is that important for your personal and business success. And that's why you want to work on that. And that's what I wanted to cover today, right? So if the quality of sleep suffers and you cannot fall asleep often and tired and wired and still can't fall asleep, and you wake up exhausted because of that, if you wake up more often than not during the night, that can be a huge factor contributing to that. Now, again, there are other factors that might be contributing to that. And if you want to learn more on that, then comment on this video or get in touch with me in any other way, and I'll get you a session with me where I'll walk you through what ideal optimal routine during the day for optimal sleep looks like. And it has to do with nutrition. Again, it has to do with different substances you might be taking. It has to do with your routines at night. It has to do with your night bright light and screen time exposure. So all of these things you got to put together, and they're not complex. They're super simple. They do not require you to spend additional time or money. You just have to figure out how to put them in place step by step, one habit after another. And again, let's get back to the idea that sleep, and you probably already know this, that sleep is the foundation of your daily productivity. You don't get your sleep right, a lot of things will start collapsing, from your mood to your drive and motivation to your procrastination. A lot of people are struggling with procrastination on different tasks different tasks for different people. Your procrastination also depends on your dopamine, and your dopamine depends on your sleep. So again, if the quality of your sleep is compromised, your success in all areas of your life will suffer. Whether you want it or not, you cannot willpower your way through 24 hours a day or 12 hours when you are awake. More often than not, every single day your brain will start making compromises, the ones that you don't notice, but over the course of your day, a week, months, and a year, they will accumulate and contribute the lack of your success. You basically, by compromising your sleep, stealing your own success and progress without really noticing that. Because nobody's going to come up to you and say, hey, your sleep isn't working for me. Your brain will not communicate to you that way. It will just make you less productive, less energetic, less driven, procrastinating more to save that energy that you do not get because of lack of sufficient and optimal sleep. Again, hope I persuaded you that sleep is crucial, is essential for your personal and business success. And again, if you want to learn more, if you want to learn all the basic stuff you need to put in place to optimize your sleep, get in touch, comment into this video. Let's get you on the session, because your success is worth it. And what else? Have an awesome day. And if I don't see you tomorrow, then have an amazing weekend. Make sure to set up the right sleep routine so you could be successful the rest of the week. So thank you for